And we are going. This is what we like to call the High Button podcast. One of my most favorite things to do on this thing that we're living on called Planet Earth. I really enjoy getting on these mics, talking to Jeff, talking to the guests, talking to, I guess, whoever decides to come on the show and talk about recent updates in life, our business, sports, family, friends, renovations, whatever it may be. We're going to talk about. We're going to discuss right here on the podcast. Something about a Monday that I've loved over these past, I don't even know. When did the company start? 2017? Yeah. 2018, 19, something I just loved about a Monday. When you're not working a real job and you can wake up and just get a little bit of hustle, a little bit of, there's something about waking up. Do you drink coffee yet?
I actually have.
Have you?
Yeah, I know.
You popped your cherry. Attaboy.
Yeah. You've been grilling me about this for like 2 years. This summer, I maybe like once or twice a week if it's a real tired morning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyways,
you got me.
There's something I just love about a Monday morning coffee, a little bit of light music in the background and checking your emails. There's just something, like, honestly romantic about it. It's like a routine that I don't think will ever break in my entire life. It's something so relaxing. One thing I'm really trying to get out of the habit is checking the phone right away. Because I'm probably up at like, what time are you up? I'm up at 6:30, maybe 6.
I'm up at 7:20.
7:20?
Yeah.
So I'm up at like 6, maybe that's in the summer when the sun's coming up. Because in the winter, the sun doesn't really come up. Or in the winter, the sun doesn't really come up until,
Is that how it works? Yeah.
8, 7:30, 8. It's not like it's always gray here in Nova Scotia anyways, but I'm up with the sun is what I'm trying to say. In the summer, like 6 o'clock, around there. And I'm really trying, or at least the past couple of months, I've tried really hard not to look at the phone. It's just right to the coffee and then right out, sorry about that, right to the back deck or to the front deck and just breathe in the fresh air with the coffee. And I'm out there, not even like 5 minutes, just 2-3 minutes. I don't know about you, and I don't know about anyone else listening to the podcast, but I am addicted to my phone. I am addicted to my laptop. I'll sit here and admit it, and I'm not going to try to hide from it. I am addicted to my phone and to my laptop. I'm not going to sit here and try to hide.
You kind of need to be.
You have to be. It's part of the...
You especially need to be.
I have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name, and he lost his password to Facebook. Or no, Instagram. But in order to regenerate his Instagram page, he had to send in his photo ID to Facebook. And he was just like, you know what? That's the last straw. I'm not sending in my driver's license. Or I think he said it was like a passport. No, I don't know what it was. He just said ID.
Photo ID.
Photo
probably,
ID,
right?
I think is what he said.
Match
sure.
the face to the name. Like health card wouldn't be a trick.
And he just said, that's it. I'm done. So he's not on Instagram. He's not on Facebook. All he has is Snapchat now, which is one of the better apps out there. They're all great, but he just went cold turkey. And I oddly enough, where was I talking to him? I don't know. I was looking at his laptop, and like how on your Chrome you can have at the top like your favorite pages.
Okay, yeah, bookmarked pages.
Yeah. And all he had was just like, finance articles and like his budget and things like that. And all I have is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. And it's just all this social media. And I looked at his and I had a little bit of envy. I'm not going to lie. Now, am I a jealous person? Absolutely not. I think whatever everyone's doing in this world is meant to be. Congratulations if you're successful. If not, keep grinding because one day you will be. Don't be jealous. And I wasn't jealous at all until I saw that laptop and I saw his bookmark tabs and he had nothing in regards to social media. Because social media, it's you got to...
Dude,
at least myself, it's my job. I got to look at it every day, unfortunately. But sometimes it's a great thing as well. You can express yourself. You can, show the people at home what the company is doing. It's a great way of communicating without words. And that's pretty much what, like, when I was younger, picture books were the best for me. You just, because you're not reading anything. You just look at the picture.
You're an Insta guy for sure.
Well, I'm a visual learner. A visual learner, I think it's one of the most beneficial things in the entire world. Maybe not some regard, but I'm able to pick up things just by watching someone else do it. And, oddly enough, when you're in school, and they call it cheating back then, but if I could watch someone do a math equation, I'm not adding up the numbers. I'm watching the process of them subtracting the numbers and adding the numbers. I'm not... it's kind of hard to explain. I'm not going...
I think I follow, yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
But are you processing how they're doing it? Because if you're watching someone, quote unquote, cheating, they're not explaining what they're doing as they're doing. So you're literally like watching them just write numbers, and that translates with you.
Oh no, I'll admit, yeah, and test every now and then. I was a peaker.
Oh,
I was a
come
peaker
on.
for
We were
sure.
all there.
Oh,
Bro.
were we all? Okay, good to know.
Man.
I feel better.
God. Oh god, yeah.
I didn't know everyone was. I was definitely a peaker.
Dude,
but
come on. You laser eyes to those pages some days.
But like I remember I would have a math tutor, and sometimes I would say to her, can you just do the equation so I can watch you figure it out? And once I watch her figure it out, it's hard to explain. I was really good at finding actually I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, I'm a visual learner, and that's why I like Instagram, because you can learn a lot through a quick little video, a quick little picture. You can learn a lot.
That's the way the world is these days. But to put on that point, if you think, like, how much do you know about cars? Like the interior, like how they work, like, could you pluck something out, like this is the problem when you hear it in your car or anything? No, okay. So do you think if you spent like 2 days at a mechanic just watching someone like work on cars, like tires, engines, all that stuff, do you think like exhaust, do you think like they have the car lifted up, do you think you'd be able to like intake, like, you know what I mean? I've just been thinking about that. I'm horrible with cars, and I try to be well versed in at least like most things, or at least have an idea. And I'm like, I wonder if I just like got my friends to just like run down a car for me a couple times, show me the different things, if I could actually like pick up some retainable knowledge from that. You know what I'm saying? To your point, rather than like if you watch someone work on a car for a weekend at the mechanic, you probably come out of that shit like pretty smart with it.
I'm going to give you a little bit of advice, and everyone listening as well. This is one of the best quotes I've ever heard in my entire life, and I think it relates to young people as well, or interns, or just people looking to learn a skill. Don't listen to what people are saying. Watch what they're doing. You're listening to this podcast, sure, but in the grand scheme of things, watch what I'm doing. Look at my patterns. And if you look at anyone successful, they'll say this as well. They don't listen to what the successful people are saying. They're watching what they're doing. And that relates to going to a mechanic. If you're an internship at a mechanic, you're not listening to what the mechanic says. You're watching him change the oil. You're watching him lift the car up on the jack. And then you're taking that into memory, and you're going to do it yourself one day. Don't listen to what people are saying. Watch what they're doing. That's what I don't know, that's a little bit of a tidbit I've taken. I take a little bit from everyone. You just don't listen to what they're saying. Watch what they're doing. And I took that whole waking up in the morning, not going on the phone, not even if it's for 5 minutes. I don't care just get outside just for a minute, breathe some fresh air, drink some water, drink some coffee, and it helps the psyche just a little bit. And if that little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to call it an advantage, but that little bit of, daily prep of not being on a screen helps me get the advantage over the other person who's doing what I'm doing, then that's what I'm all about. That's the business I'm in, baby. That's what I need to do. So anyways, what were we talking about? Visual learners?
I actually have to your point, man, you probably don't know this about me. I haven't been on Instagram in 8 months.
Oh, so that's why you're not liking my photo. I thought you were mad at me. I was like, why is Jeff not liking my photos?
I didn't really know if I should like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I haven't used it in about 8 months. I use Twitter and like Reddit and YouTube, like, which is why I see all our content. I focus more on that for High Button, especially the YouTube, because that's my favorite. But I'm just saying, man, like your grind, like there's definitely days where I'm like, dude, like just like the fact that you can just like, I don't know, it's just there's something about social media. I have a love-hate relationship with it, like you said. Even you, who's built a brand on it, like even you like can kind of see like you don't necessarily love it, do you? Like if you feel envy for people who don't need to focus on it, like your friend who could like drop it and then move on with their lives and it wouldn't really affect them. Because I don't know how many people are actually cut out to do brand management and media management like you do, man. Like you're on that. Like I'll try to text you stories sometimes on Twitter. I'll see it and you'll already have it retweeted. You'll already have it on the story. And I'm like, this guy is like, no, like he's on this.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time I beat you to a story? Like it's been a while.
To be fair, and I'm not, toot my own horn here, but a lot of people, not just you, a lot of people message me things like that don't even work here, just friends or, friends of parents. Like people just right away send me stuff. So don't feel bad. It's just and not like, do I love social media? I do love it. I think it's a great tool. I'll tell you a funny story, not a funny story, just a story. I remember we're at the Joel Montagne tournament, whatever. The one was last March.
Yes.
And I was sitting around waiting to go onto the ice for the shootout. Remember with Doodle A, we did that thing?
Of course, yep.
And we were sitting in the dressing room waiting, and I walked out of the dressing room after tying my skates to go out onto the ice, and I realized I didn't have my phone on me. So I go back into the dressing room, and there's a gentleman sitting there, and he goes, "Oh, did you forget something?" I go, "Yeah, I forgot my tool." Meaning I forgot my phone, because this thing right here is my tool.
Did you really say that?
I said
forgot
that.
my
I
tool?
forgot my tool. This is my hammer. This is my wrench. This is my screwdriver. This is my... What's another tool? Jackson Pollitt.
This is horrible.
There's things that this is my tool. So I do love it, because, the guys today doing the renovations, they go upstairs and they put windows in. They have to tear things out with their hammer, with their wrench, whatever it is. They have a bunch of tools.
They're drills.
All I have is this, where I pay $135 a month.
Yeah.
And this is my tool. So for me to sit here and say, no, social media is a terrible thing, it's ruining our lives, it's enclosing us. Maybe some of that is true, and I think there is a degree that is definitely true, but at the end of the day, I can't hate something that pays for this microphone, that pays for this house, that pays for these renos. So I can't sit here and say that I hate social media. I do love it to an extent, for sure, to answer your question.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And like I feel like I like social media when it's not like personal, like stuff. Like, I'll be honest, man, I don't care what the people, like what a lot of the people I went to high school are doing. They shouldn't care about what I'm doing. Well, they should care about the high button stuff, but anything
care
else,
about us. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you know what? So I like social media in the sense of like a brand. Like, I like following brands. I like following celebrities. I like following like reporters for sports, stuff like that. I like. It's more like you said, when it kind of comes down to and I think social media has kind of gone away from it, to the brass tacks of like me following all my friends from high school, like seeing like their Instagram, who they're dating, like all this stuff. That stuff I don't think really has as big of a place on social media as a high button would, or a reporter with like 20,000 followers, a beat writer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to gain a lot from social media. So I think maybe like just following it more in like a broad, like, I don't know these people. These are people who work for something I like, and this is a good way for them to get information to me, rather than following 300 people I went to high school with and haven't seen or talked to, you know what I mean? So I definitely think there's a place for social media, but it's an interesting discussion, especially to hear from you, because like I said, you're on that. You're in the trenches.
Damn it, social media, it's not going anywhere. But what isn't also going anywhere is live streaming. This is September/October. Well, it is September, but we're moving into hockey season. We have our first weekend of streams coming back. We're going to be in East Hants. We're going to be in Dartmouth. We're going to be at BMO, I believe, maybe for a couple games.
In Bedford, weekend, pretty much.
So this is that time of year where, they say January 1st is the new year. No, September, this is my new year. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. I'm lean. I'm mean. And I'm ready to, I'm ready. I think the company is ready to roll. It's always an interesting thing when you come into this month of September, because myself, you, Jeff, Dudes, Mark, Aiden's in Toronto, but these guys, we know what to do. But when you're out of the realm for even, we just did the baseball Atlantics a month ago, maybe less.
Yeah,
it's just like anything in life. If you stop for a bit, you're gonna get a little bit uncomfortable. But if you keep going, you keep hammering it, you're just like, boom, set up, go. And even, like I said, if you're away for 3 weeks, there's a little bit of nervous energy going back into it. But I love that nervous energy. What do they say? Pressure is a privilege. Like, I love having pressure on us to deliver. And if we didn't have pressure on us, that means we're not doing something right in this business that we like to call High Button Sports.
High Button Sports.
So it's going to be a really fun month coming up here in September, moving into October. And obviously not grand finale, but my grandmother always used to say this: looking forward to something is the best thing in life.
Yeah.
And what do we have to look forward to in December? The World Jays, the World Juniors.
Yeah.
The big tournament that brings families together when you sit around your couch. Well, I guess you're not sitting around the couch anymore.
No.
You're going to the games.
Oh yeah.
But it's something about life when you have something to look forward to me, is the best thing in the entire world. I love looking forward to something. And now the fact that we get to look forward to something in our own backyard, I think amplifies everything that we're going to be doing. I think that it allows us to work even maybe a little bit harder, knowing that we're pushing for something that's going to put us on a hopefully a world scale. If we can go and create world-class content for social media during the World Juniors and tag everybody, we have the opportunity to go viral, and viral moments create great business opportunities, and great business opportunities create great business relationships, and great business relationships usually often end up in growth, whether it's financially, whether it's networking, whether it's growing followers, wherever it is. If you can form some sort of business relationship in a major event like the World Juniors, good things can happen. Hockey Canada, like I know Hockey Canada right now isn't in the best of,
we can only focus on us.
Exactly. We can only focus on us. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the whole hockey world will have eyes on the place that we live in right now called Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, Moncton as well.
Yep.
And I think that everything leading up to this December, we've been prepped for. There's nothing new that's going to be thrown at us come in December where we go, what do we do now? What do we do here? What do we do now? Jeff, how do we do this? What do we do now? We know what to do. We know how to do it. Now we just have to deliver.
Oh yeah, we'll deliver. I have confidence in that. To your point though about the streaming, me and you don't really. To the fans at home listening, I know the podcast is kind of separate from the live streaming in a sense. You might actually in a big sense, it's different. So to those listening, we don't really talk about our feelings too much. Me and you, you know what I mean? Our deep in thought, we have our head down and we get the work done. But like. To your point with the live stream, maybe a little bit of nervous energy. I'm excited, nervous for this weekend. It's almost more like one of those things, like you said, we haven't done it in so long. So I think about the things that could go wrong.
In a rink,
yeah. And like last year, we did a really good job, and like that was my first full year doing it with you. And like you want to follow it up with a nice, strong first weekend, and like there's a plethora of things that could go wrong this weekend, but you don't focus on those. I just focus on like. When Sunday night comes, we're going to have 4 games under our belt for the first weekend of the year. Woo. And it's basically my job and, the other guy's job to make sure that those go well. It could go 2 ways, well or bad. And it's up to me to make it go good. So it's like, that's all I focus on. It's like, how does it go? Rather than focus on like nervousness or, oh, this is going to go wrong. It's just like, we got 4 games this weekend. They're going to go good. How do I make it happen? Move it along. Like, that's basically all it is. But it's first weekend back, man. Like you said, like shake the cobwebs off. Yeah. That's what it's gonna be.
That's where you separate the vets from just the average individuals. That not even just live streaming, just in any aspect of life, is knowing that things will go wrong. Things are gonna go wrong, Jeff. I know things are gonna go wrong. Things just go wrong. That's life, especially with technology. If I'm leaning forward like this, am I on the camera?
You're good.
I'm good.
You're good.
Things in life go wrong, but it's the people that are able to get back up. How many songs do you hear? Knock me down, get back up again. Knock me down, I'll get back up twice. There's so many songs like that, but it's the most true thing there is. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to be driving to the rink. You're going to get a flat tire. Justin, I'm going to be late for that we're going to go to the rink.
My cord won't work.
Justin, they want my Vax card. I forgot it back in bed. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there, but there's things that are going to happen in life that, it's not going to go well, but it's the people that just say, that I'm going to get up, I'm going to work harder at it, it's going to be incredible the next time, and I'm not going to let this problem defeat me.
It'll be incredible that time.
Exactly. It'll be incredible that time.
I literally look at these like games like it's like a mission, man. It's like it's like when a successful game's done, it's like check mark, and it's like something went wrong, I'm pissed for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Like you said,
but that's the attitude you want.
I know it's gonna go wrong, but my entire focus is on that not happening. So it's it's inevitable, but it's also avoidable.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: what's on the other spectrum of knowing things are gonna go wrong? What's on the other spectrum? What's on the other side of not knowing, knowing things are gonna go wrong, making sure they don't happen again?
Right.
So making sure problems don't happen again is a whole nother ball game. You have to learn from your mistakes, prep to make sure it doesn't happen again. But the rinks we've gone into are going to be into this year. We know the staff. We know the Zamboni drivers. Anyone looking out there to like be okay in a rink's books, just be friends with the Zamboni driver. That's the secret. Just be friends with the people who are the maintenance people. not necessarily Zamboni. Just make sure you treat the staff with the utmost respect, not the manager, just not the big dogs with the keys, whatever it is. Make sure you treat the Zamboni driver. Make sure you like the people fixing the lights. It's probably the same person actually, but just make sure that you're nice to the people that actually make sure rinks run.
Dude, that bailed me out last year listening to you telling me that, like the start of last year when I would go to the BMO center and that back room we locked where we got to plug in the internet and no one's got a key and you can't find the Zamboni driver, but there's the secretary working at the front desk. She's help, she's just as valuable. So that it's so true, man. Like you just saying that just it plays in my head like times where I've had to just like scramble like 20 minutes before puck drop to get like our stuff set up. Man, when having them bail me out.
If we're ever in a rink, you know how at these rinks they have security guards. A security guard really isn't going to benefit me in any way. Just what's a security, like I can handle a security guard. But I make sure that I take the time out of my day just to honestly go up to security guards or people that are working, just maybe not security guard, but just to say, how are you? How's the day going? Is anyone giving you problems? Is today really busy? Do you feel overwhelmed? Just even though it really doesn't matter what the outcome is of the answer, just to make sure that somebody else knows that, oh, this person actually cares about me, because I worked in those jobs. I worked in those jobs where I was a server and I was serving rich pricks red wine and they'd say, this is the wrong fucking one. Give me this, just what are they called? Thankless jobs.
Oh yeah.
Thankless jobs.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yes.
That's the term. So anytime I see like a security guard or someone that no one really is talking to in the rink, I'll just take, hey, how's it going? How are you? How's life? Today busy? Everything's good? Okay, great. Because down the line, you might need to talk to that person and ask for a quick little favor. Hey, room 4 is locked. I left my camera equipment in there. Do you have a key by any chance? I'd love to get in there really quick. So it's not that I'm going out of my way to, what's it called? Do a favor, then quickly ask for a favor.
Yeah.
That's not the mentality. You actually have to have the mentality of caring for that person that's standing there, just saying, okay, yeah, you're good. Make sure there's no coffee in here, sir, outside. Because those are thankless jobs. And if you take a second and care about those people, I'm not saying those people will care for you, but the universe and a good aura and karma will look out for you. So I always try to take a time, especially ask Doodle this. Doodle's second home is a rink, right?
Oh yeah.
Like any rink.
Yeah.
You ask Doodle can elaborate on this a little bit more, but rinks are second homes for some Canadians that grew up in them, and it's hard to explain. You almost know every corner of a rink, even though you haven't been in one. You just know how rinks operate and how the staff operates and how things move in a rink. It's a weird thing, I know, as a Canadian. I don't want to say as a Canadian, but it's an interesting thing, a rink.
I know every single advertisement at the LeBron rink in
Do ya?
Bedford. Oh yeah, I could tell you where the dustiest spots are in the rink. I could tell you where anything about that, where the bulletin board where they put the tryouts up before they posted it online. They used to have the sheets up. Could tell you everything about the LeBron, man.
And isn't that a great feeling though?
It is, because I still play there too, so it's even cooler. All these years later.
You still play at the Brun?
Yeah, every Thursday night.
I love that rink.
Oh, it's so nice. Freaking 5-minute walk from my house. Oh.
They have a great canteen there.
Oh, that thing's been shut down for years.
So was Centennial. So your DeBrun would be my Centennial.
Yeah. It's pretty much cleared out, but they rent you can get the private, you can get your guys together and get on there for that sort of thing. But regardless, man, I know I could tell you every crevice of that place.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, man, what were we talking about? Anyway, at the bottom line, it's going to be fun going back into rinks and just maneuvering around, because at the end of the day, we're bringing wires, we're bringing camera, we're bringing internet. We're not an inconvenience to the staff, but we definitely need the staff's help, and we don't want to go in there with an attitude of this is our show. You just want to go in there and make sure that everyone understands that we're there for a positive cause, and hopefully we'll have a great winter, move on into the World Juniors, have a good Christmas, World Juniors.
Get that hopefully out of the vocabulary, buddy. It's happening.
Yeah, I know it's going to happen.
I'm speaking facts only here. You got to speak these things into existence.
Football. I'll let you go. How was football?
Oh, it was good.
How was the first week?
It was a phenomenal first week. We had 2 overtimes, which is insane. We had a tie. We had a lot of missed field goals. We had a big Buffalo win. Did you end up watching any of that game on the Thursday night? Be
Buffalo
real.
and LA. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
You
yeah.
did?
Josh
Okay.
Allen. Buffalo is my team. Josh Allen's an impressive individual. He's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
He can throw the ball and make sure other people catch it.
He's top 3 in the league.
Who's top 2?
Well, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, of course.
Tom Brady's still top 3. Wow.
Well, he's top 1, but then Patrick Mahomes, then Josh Allen.
I couldn't believe Tom Brady yesterday. I stayed up for that game.
Yeah, that wasn't a great game.
Yeah, I
That
know,
was a
but
stinker.
I thought he was like 43
He's
and then
45.
45.
Yeah.
Dude, 45 years old. So he's been in the league for what, 22 years?
I think his first year was 2000 or maybe 2001. So, yeah.
Man.
22, 23. I think 23 seasons is what he's at right now. But yeah, no, that was it was a great Sunday, man. Like it was just yeah, the kickers were going everywhere. So you were watching Red Zone. Red Zone's the best.
Yeah, because I won't lie. There was definitely times where I was watching that Chicago game.
Oh, that was a terrible one.
And like there was just a couple games where you're just like, okay, what's going on here? And then I remember you telling me about this Red Zone channel, which is just a couple down from TSN.
Yeah.
And I watched that, and I had that glued. I was on that for like a good hour and a half.
Oh yeah, I'll turn that on at 2 p.m. and it's not going off until the end of the late game. Like I'll watch that thing for like 8 hours straight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's everything.
Okay, but let me ask you this: if let's say you're who's your team?
Patriots.
So do you feel like guilty not watching a full Patriots game?
I'm double screening. I got if the Patriots play at 2, I'll have them on the screen and then I'll have the Red Zone on my laptop. So I always have the Pats game. So I'll watch every Pats game, but if the Pats, which probably won't be happening much this year, play in prime time and they're playing like a Sunday night or a Monday night, which is perfect for me, then I'm just strictly Red Zone. But I'll chuck up the Patriots game whenever it's on. But a lot of focus, man, is on that Red Zone, especially if you're into the sports betting and the fantasy and all that, man.
Yes. Like, shout out to Proline.
Shout out to Proline, bro. First big weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure to get your bets in with ProLineStadium.com or the ALC app.
Yeah, get them in there, man. Those big first weekend. Yeah. Well, so what else? So you watched the Chicago game. They were in the rain,
which I loved.
You really loved that?
Yeah, I secretly hate summer. I love summer, but I love shitty weather. I love just a grind. I love what do they call it? Like a muck ball, like a mutter, like a mutter game. Like I love that stuff. Snowball
games.
I love games where like weather comes into play.
But I was thinking about this the other day, like when it was pouring. I was like, how many like that kind of makes football unique, man. Is they allow them to play in any weather situation.
Oh, there's no delay.
There's no delay. Think about like baseball. Baseball is the only other sport besides like the only other major 4 sport. And then, I mean, you could throw in soccer. But if we're talking like NHL, NBA, MLB, NFL, 2 of those are in buildings so that you never have to worry about it. And then it's baseball and football. Baseball postpones all the time. So that comes down to football. The nitty gritty, we're playing whether it's pouring and we're friggin' jumping down the field, making no passes all game. So that is a special thing about football, man. That's for sure.
You know what I really enjoyed during these football games was Twitter. I really enjoyed Twitter during these football games. There's a lot of funny memes. Man, I think the fans are the craziest. Like there was a bunch of fights. Like I woke up Monday. There's a game tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke.
Denver versus Seattle. Russell Wilson playing against the Seahawks.
Broncos country. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
But no,
that's one of the best memes of the summer, man.
The way Broncos country. That's right.
Yeah.
But no, I couldn't believe the amount of fights.
Oh yeah.
On Twitter between the fans.
On Twitter.
Like people on the same team with the same jerseys. Like there's a couple Seattle Seahawks fans like going at it with. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, I'll let you know.
They're passionate.
That's the beauty of football, man. I know a lot of people, especially Canadians, because there's no teams around here, might not fully like it as much. But the reason is, dude, is because football is king. Football is king. They're getting way more views. They're getting way more media coverage. They've got way more fans. They've got, way more money. They've got everything. Football is king for sports in North America, especially America. So you probably feel like FOMO. Like that's why you always say, I want to get into football. My friend texted me yesterday, explained football to me because like you feel FOMO, dude. It's all
Yeah.
you see on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to sit. You're a
No.
sports guy. You don't want to sit around and like.
Well, hence
miss
Twitter,
out.
because Twitter's going, can't wait to sit on the couch for 7 hours.
Yeah.
And I go, I want to feel that.
Yeah,
Because I can't sit on a
dude.
couch for 7 hours, but I want to.
Oh, every Sunday, man. I like when we have our Sunday games. I'm pumped because the Armada games are at like I think they're at 11:45.
That's perfect for
so
you.
I'll be out of there by 2. You know, games start at 2. I can like you know what I like. That's literally like my biggest concern is how do I get home on a Sunday afternoon and put 8 hours into watching Red Zone and the Patriots.
Well, that's why you can't work on Sundays. Football.
Sunday afternoons, man. I'm off grid, bro. Like, yeah, I'm good for you any other time, but like, dude, even if I'm talking to a girl, I'll say that to her. I'll be like, even if football's not on, like, talk to a girl in the summer, be like, oh, well, when football season starts, like Sunday afternoon, Sunday nights, like it's off the table. That's just how it goes, man. When you love, so I bet you there's some people at home who are listening to this can totally relate. And some who think I'm crazy, but
no, I'd say the majority agree. I'd say we have a lot of football fans that listen to this podcast. They probably think I'm crazy for not loving it as much as you do. But I'm trying. Like everyone listening, you have to understand right now, I'm trying. And what more do you want from a guy? I'm trying. I'm trying.
You should have gotten a fantasy football team this year. That's how you really get into that.
Man, I heard those take time. Like I heard that takes like a chunk of time. Yes, man. I have friends that
I've done it for 5 years, but I'm telling you, you set and forget these guys.
Set and forget. I have guys that are making trades like every day. I was at that golf tournament with guys that are in the same fantasy league, and during the golf tournament, they were trying to like trade with one another because the second string running back for the LA Rams isn't a starter. He's a second string, and now they picked him first overall, and now they're screwed over.
That's Cam Akers, right?
Yeah, Cam Akers. Everyone was pissed over Cam Akers.
I don't blame them, bro. Pick him 4th overall and see him get like 3 touches.
Yes, that's what it was. He went like 3rd overall. Yes. This guy in the draft.
I wasn't touching him with a 10-foot pole, man. Especially Henderson. I had him last year. He was good. I knew they'd split the ball like that.
Anyways, it seems like these people, at least the people that I was playing golf with, the South End Classic, we're going to talk about that in a second, just they're working on their draft fantasy league while they're golfing.
Oh, I love that.
I got to be golfing while I'm golfing. While I'm podcasting, I got to be podcasting. I can't be trading you picks.
I'd rinse you.
But there's definitely some things within sports, and I know it sounds weird because I own a sports company, but there's definitely things within sports that I think I'm missing out. 1, football; 2, a fantasy, because I see my friends and they talk about their fantasy league, and they look like they're a 7-year-old kid on Christmas that just got a new pair of skates when they talk about it.
It's literally their team.
Yeah.
Like, it's their team. Like, they may as well be a GM on the field, like, cheering their guys on.
Yes. So so here's another weird thing. We had an after party at the house, so a place, and we're on the balcony having some drinks, and all these guys are going, boys, we are literally GMs. Like, we are GMs. And then everyone kept going, yeah, we are GMs. We are fucking GMs.
They are,
and
man.
I'm looking at them. I'm like, are these guys under the tree right now?
Yeah.
What's that movie with the Step Brothers where the guy, he's like, so what do you do? He's like, I manage a baseball team. And the mom's like, Little League. And then he goes, fantasy. That's what I picture. He's eating his chicken nuggets with the ketchup.
Dude, yeah. But, dude, my brother won 25 or 20 or not 25, like just over $1,000 last year for winning his league.
My buddy won $3,000.
Did he? Yeah.
Do you want to know what the last place punishment was?
Yeah, let's hear it.
He had to go to McDonald's and eat, I think it was 30 cheeseburgers in a matter of 24 hours.
Oh.
But it was 24 burgers in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But every burger you ate, an hour was taken off your time. So if you just demolished 24 burgers, you could leave. But that's not that easy. So that was the punishment. So he's this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he was at McDonald's. I think he was there for like 10 hours. The staff were looking at him funny. Yeah, because the guy just ordered 24. He didn't order 24.
He just like have his laptop with him, just watching Netflix
and just grinding it out. And he had to film every burger.
Yeah.
So it was tough. And he's like, yeah, it was. I saw some photos and videos, but it looked hilarious. But anyways, it looks like a brotherhood is what it looks like,
dude. And especially if you imagine doing a league with guys for like 20 years.
Yeah,
20 years.
That's a brotherhood.
And there's dynasty leagues, so they pick. The year you start the league, you get these guys, and you get guys to keep. So like you keep like however many guys, and then you only draft like 3 new players or the rookies each year. So you go 10 years and you've had the same, like you can get really attached to, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do the same with hockey.
Yeah.
I know people who do it with hockey where they made the initial draft and they've been doing it for 25 years. And they've my buddy got lucky and was able to draft McDavid, or my buddy's dad was able to draft McDavid, has had McDavid ever since.
Wow.
But it's basically so now you know what I mean? So
You're
it's
gonna rack up points.
you rack up points, but then it's you trade and it's literally at that point you're a GM. But anyway, man,
I
football.
wonder if that's actual training to becoming a real GM in real life. I wonder if there's actual skill in that.
In fantasy?
I wonder if Kyle Dubas had his own fantasy league team. I wonder if he would be
the guy. Of course he did.
do you think he'd be an actual good fantasy league guy? Do you know, I wonder if those skills translate into the real deal.
It's also the thing, NFL players play in fantasy themselves.
Isn't that illegal?
No, betting's illegal if you're a player, but I've definitely seen
players have their own fantasy
players
league.
have their own fantasy leagues
in the sport that they're in.
In the sport that they're in, there was a celebrity league that they do. I saw someone post about it on Twitter, and they had all the contestants, and one of them was literally I don't know if it was Eckler or it was one of the guys in the a running back for the Chargers, their first running back.
Yeah,
and that'd be a little interesting.
Wow.
Picking you know what I mean? You're playing the sport.
Let's just start slow, okay? I'm trying. I made a promise to Coleman that I would.
Yes.
So I'm going to commit every Sunday. When's the Bills off week? Nobody knows.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
I'm going to make a commitment to every Sunday, just committing. And maybe next year, if it comes up and the opportunity, here's the thing, if I learn this year, maybe fantasy league will be in my future next year. But I need to learn a little bit because I'm not just chucking down. How much do you have to put down?
I mean,
to join a league?
Mine was only $50. It kind of different. It goes from 20 to 300. I've heard.
If I'm chucking cash down, I got to know what I'm getting into.
Just watch Red Zone this year. Watch the Bills and cheer for Kyler Murray because he's my quarterback.
So he's the guy who's going to get you the most points?
Yes, him and McCaffrey. I got McCaffrey third overall, and he's injury risk. So basically, if he goes down, my season's done because it's my best player's out. How am I supposed to recover from that unless you really battle, which you can do, but...
You see Dak Prescott's out for a bit?
Yeah, see, that's the first game of the year. He put up a stinker of a game and then got injured and is out for 6 to 8 weeks. And Dak Prescott's a decent fantasy quarterback, upper, top 10, so he's probably on a lot of teams.
So there's people
and there's a lot of people scrambling this morning.
Why, to make trades?
To make trades, pick up back, I don't know, well, think about it. There's usually 12 to 14 players in a league. There's 32 quarterbacks who start, so only the top 12 or 14 get picked.
Yeah.
So then you kind of have to pick from the bottom of the barrel and hope that they can provide, some value if your guy goes out.
I gotcha.
So one of the greatest games on earth, man. Not as good as hockey, but close.
How much time are we at?
40.
Are we at 40, man? I'm always surprised with that.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we got to start making these 3-hour podcasts.
Joe Rogan type stuff.
Yeah, his are long, eh?
Yeah.
It's 3 hours, man.
You could do the live. If you do the live show, those are sick though. A 3-hour live podcast, and people just come in. They come in, they leave, they come back. You can take questions from the fans, that sort of thing.
I don't have a bladder for 3 hours. 3-hour podcast. I drink too much water. That's why I love golf. You can just. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah. Speaking of golf, came third in my first ever golf tournament this past weekend, the South End Classic. I think the boys said it's been going for 15 years. I played with my partner, Flinney, and he saw my putting, and then he invited me to be his partner. So we golfed at Granite. Maybe
Good thing you didn't see your driving.
No, my driving's on point right now, Jeff. Don't mess around because other people might want me for their part. I finished third place, and the guy who finished first went to college, NCAA Tier 1. I'm not sure what school, but was a legit golfer, and he shot 1 under. I shot even.
Yeah, but you guys were doing scrambles, right?
Scramble.
So you pick whose shot you go
exactly,
with?
yes.
And did you have to have a minimum? You have to take
8 and 8. He had to take my first. He had to take 8 of mine. I had to take 8 of his.
8 drives.
8 drives. 8 first shots. Yeah. So we were actually a pretty good.
So you put together 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were actually a pretty good duo. We picked each other up where we lacked. Nice. If that makes sense. One of probably the best day of the summer.
Oh yeah.
Best day of the summer.
Right on.
One, the weather was incredible. Two, they designated drives because we were drinking, so they had like buses booked for us to drive us there, back, everything. So the everything was booked. Did I say weather already?
Yeah.
Weather was fantastic. The drinks were flowing. The after party was incredible right downtown, and then the individual that organized it, his girlfriend worked at the bar called what was it called?
Let's hear it.
Hide and Seek.
Oh yes.
So we were down there, and they had like a little VIP room booked off for us, and we were all celebrating after. And the person who came in last had to chug tequila, a pint of tequila. So the two partners that lost had to chug a pint of tequila in the parking lot warm. I don't know how they did it. And I thought for sure they wouldn't make it out. And the next thing you know, they're out. I was at hide and seek, and I go, hey, tequila, you made it out. I didn't see the other partner, but at least one of them made it out.
The adrenaline took over.
I guess so. And just an incredible day. My partner ended up wearing, because we were the second group to go, so we had to kind of sit around the green and wait for everyone else to finish, which was great because, you know, you're watching these people finish, putt, you're clapping, you're booing, you're cheering, you're crying, whatever you got to do. But anyways, during that time during that time while we were waiting, my partner changed because he had to wear matching outfits, and my partner put on a Lindell Wigington jersey.
Oh, yeah?
So I zoomed up on it. And my partner, speaking of not having Instagram, doesn't have Instagram. So, huge Lindell Wigington fan. And I zoomed up and I put it on our story on Instagram, and Lindell shared it on his story.
Really? Nice.
So I go up to my partner and I go, look, Lindell just shared this video. It's you on his story. And he freaked out.
Really?
I showed him at the bar.
That's sick.
So he takes my phone in the bar and he just starts going up to like strangers. Like, look, I'm in Lindell Wigington's story. And he just like, I was like, man, I need my phone back. But it was the funniest thing. And we came third place. So we kind of have like a little bit of a bond because that tournament's been going on for 15 years. I don't know how many years he's been in it. But we kind of like built a little bit of a bond over this past week. Because third place, we have a little bit to work off of. Like next year, we're going to go in together and hopefully we win it. 30, so 15 teams, I think it was.
Were there some real bad teams?
Well, the worst score was 16 under, but I think the last score before that was like, or no, 16 under, sorry, 16 over.
Yes.
But I don't think there was terrible teams. It just was what it was.
Nice.
But nonetheless, one of the most fun times I've had this summer. Just an incredible day. I got this hat during it.
That's a nice
matching hats.
That's a nice hat.
So what
was that just like for finishing third?
No, like because we have to have matching outfits. So my outfit's upstairs, but I went to Joe Fresh, got like a $20 Hawaiian shirt, and then I went to Old Navy. Old Navy's having a great sale, so I bought us 2 khakis, and then he went out and bought us matching flower socks, and then he bought the hats. And we just killed it. We had a great time. We were on the cart. One guy hit a hole in one. The guy who won hit a hole in one on a par 3.
Jeez,
and they were like 4 holes behind us, so we could hear them.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, "What's going on? Was that a hole in one or was that a chip in? Was that like?"
Yeah.
But the scream was too loud
to be a chip in.
So we're like, "That's definitely a hole in one."
Dude, my grandpa's been golfing like 60 years, and he's never hit a hole in one. He wants one more than anything.
Does he?
But like, so whenever I hear people get holes in ones, I just think of him and how every time we go golfing, he goes, "Well, never got a hole in one. Wouldn't it be special if I got one on the day with my grandson?" Hasn't happened yet.
It's funny because the guy that shot the hole in one, he played NCAA college, everything's never hit a hole in one.
Yeah.
So at the SEC Classic, the thing, I guess, he got bragging rights, but really doesn't mean too much. That's when he hits a hole in one.
Oh, man. He's probably amped though. He's finally it's like a checklist, man. Like, like score a hat trick in your career, like, stuff like that, just like bucket, like win a title, like celebrate with your team, like that sort of thing. Hole in one.
Yeah.
That, for any golfer, that's like a.
And he was the guy that hosted the after party too, like before the club. So we went to his place.
Yeah.
And he was just on cloud 9. So like we were just letting loose and just everyone's talking about our shots. Like, oh, how about that chip? How about that putt? Oh, how about that drive? How about that?
That does sound like a good day.
Yeah, I was just in heaven. And Sarah was working on the renos, and she knew it was my day. She was like, just go for it, have fun. So like it was just one of those magical days of the summer where you
show up pickled at the end of the night back home.
Oh, I showed up at like 2 a.m. back home, and she didn't care. Just got right in bed, woke up. She was cool with it. She just knew.
Nice.
But no, it's it was great. It was a great time, great day, great podcast. I think we've had. I think a lot of people are excited for us. I know I'm excited for a lot of people listening. I know school is back. I know a lot of our demographic are those kids that when I never go out. When I was out, man, the kids were high button. I loved it. You don't, cause I don't go, man, I stay in here and I do what I got to do. But it was I've never, last
Dude,
time
no, I actually saw you downtown that night.
Did you?
You just reminded me of that.
Why didn't you say hi?
I was on a mission. I think at that point I was on a mission. And you were talking to someone, and I was like, "Oh, there's Justin," and I kind of just kept my head. I kept looking forward. You were in a conversation with a guy who was right outside Midtown and like that whole area on that main road.
Well, that was probably someone that just said hi button.
Yeah, and I literally, dude, I was like, "What? Justin never comes downtown." I totally forgot about that, man.
So anyways, that was cool.
Couple drinks deep for sure.
Man,
but
college, I never thought, I guess college kids are our demographic for sure.
spreads, man.
19 to 35.
I think there's a little bit of everything because we get a lot of young kids, man. The young, like when we were at the parade that day for McKinnon.
There was a lot of high button.
Just from the young guns.
Yeah.
Like the guys who are like in grade 5,
grade 5?
Well, like the 12-year-olds, dude, they're on TikTok watching the mic'd up. They're like the mic'd up content. That's their they love that sort of thing. And then you kind of get a little older with the
college kids,
who like the podcasts and
the street interviews.
The street and their friend. They'll watch themselves on our live streams, like the players.
Oh yeah,
they'll send it around like, hey, and then you get the older demographic. Like, there's a lot of parents who will watch the live streams and who will listen to the pods. So
yeah.
High Button's got a large, it's not really a target demographic type of company. It's just not. We just do too many separate things.
That's a good thing though, right?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah. I think it definitely is.
We're very we diversify. We're not one thing.
Definitely not, man.
I always say
get the merch going again, bro.
Yeah, I know. I always say if you need us to move a couch, we'll move it. Just call it High Button Moving. We'll do anything just as long as the high button is there.
Yeah, literally.
But we have to. I'll ask you what your schedule is this week, but I do want to get out to Dal and do street interviews. Kids coming back.
Man, I want to do that videos where you go I always refer you to the King of Donaire video, man. That was one of my
talking to them
videos.
today.
What if you did just places around Halifax that are unique that not everyone could get into, and we just did a video series where you go in just like the King of Donaire thing, you get a little tour, you try the stuff, or when we were talking about Classified Studio, I don't necessarily know if you'd want people in his studio, but you've been in there before. If we did a video, a tour of his studio, there was a guy at East Coast Kicks who wanted us to go in there. That's a popular spot around Halifax for the shoes. That's a unique video. Any of the restaurants, I think that is a little video series. It'd be good video content because it's there's so many places in Halifax, Classified Studio, all this stuff. It's just
people
so
wish
unique.
they could go to.
And it's they'll watch a 5-minute video of you cracking jokes with the person,
even
getting a tour,
hockey dressing rooms and stuff.
Anything like that. Yeah, do one at the Metro Center, the Forum, or the SMU rink. Remember how nice the SMU the new state of the art SMU locker rooms, all that stuff is back there. Those videos they do well. They're interesting. They can be short, and you can show a lot of personality. And
definitely,
you can get them sponsored.
Yeah.
So there could be more video content coming from High Button this year. Who knows?
It's High Button season. All right, let's wrap this up. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. I want to just send a little message out there to everyone listening to just enjoy your week. Work hard, have fun, like I always say. But just try to enjoy it. Try to enjoy the time we have on this place called Earth. We're not going to be here forever. Make sure that you enjoy every waking second of it. If you're hit rock bottom right now, just know that it's going to get better. You got to keep on pushing. We all hit rock bottom, but just know when you're in rock bottom, you just have to know that that's not the end. And when it is the end, everything will be fine. So just make sure that you keep working hard. You keep focus on what you want to do in this life. And if you keep focus and you keep the distractions away and you stay on path, what are horse blinders?
Oh yeah.
10-year-old horse, you got horse blinders on. There's going to be people saying, don't do this, don't do that, do it like that, do it. And just say, I got horse blinders on, I got to go see you. And just keep going forward. You're going to be fine, I promise. That's all I got to say. Jeff, do you want to say anything?
If it was a tough day, focus on making it a great week.
Exactly. I like that. All right, everyone listening, we're out. Have a good one. Peace.